Imagine you're standing at a crossroads in life. You look around and see your family, your closest people, ready to help. But suddenly you wonder, what happens if one day they are not there? What will you do then? Will you still be okay? Will you stand strong on your own feet? Have you ever asked yourself, how much do I really depend on my family? Do I rely on them so much that I forget to prepare myself for life's challenges? Or do I have the strength to face difficult moments without always needing their support? In our daily lives, it is easy to think that family will always be there for us. But is that really true? What if circumstances change? What if people grow old or move away? Have you thought about what it means to be truly independent, even while loving your family deeply? For example, imagine a small boat on a calm lake. It feels safe when near the shore, close to family and friends. But what happens if a sudden storm comes? The boat must be ready to sail on its own, or it will be lost. This is like life. We need to prepare ourselves to stand strong, even when the calm is gone. Welcome to Wisdom Woven. Here, we explore simple but powerful truths that can help you live wisely and peacefully. If you find these ideas helpful, please do not forget, there's so many views on this channel but only 0.2% subscribed. So please like, comment, share, and subscribe to our channel. Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and first, comment Namo Buddha to stay energetic and connected on this journey. Now, let's think deeply about why depending too much on family can sometimes hold us back. Buddhism teaches us that true strength comes from within. It tells us that attachment, clinging to anything or anyone, can bring suffering. When we depend too much on family, we may lose our chance to grow, to learn how to stand on our own. This does not mean we should stop loving or caring for our family. It means we must find a balance. We must learn to walk our own path while still sharing love and respect with those close to us. Life is always changing. People we depend on may change, too. They may become sick, move far away, or have their own struggles. If we have not prepared ourselves to be independent, those times can feel lonely and frightening. Buddhism teaches the idea of impermanence, that nothing lasts forever. Understanding this can help us not to cling too tightly, but instead to build our own strength and peace inside. In the next parts, we will explore how Buddhist wisdom shows us the way to self-reliance and how to love without losing our own freedom. Stay with us. Listen carefully, my friend. Life is like a river, always flowing, never the same from one moment to the next. You may try to hold on to the water with your hands, but it slips away. This is the way of attachment, trying to hold on to what is always changing. In Buddhism, we learn that attachment causes suffering. It is like carrying a heavy bag on your back, making every step more difficult. When you depend too much on your family, you're holding tightly to a form of attachment. You say, I need them to feel safe. I need their support to live. But what happens when the bag becomes too heavy? When the people you rely on are no longer able to carry your weight, then your steps falter and your journey becomes painful. The Buddha taught that freedom comes not from holding on, but from letting go. Not from depending on others, but from depending on yourself. Not from seeking outside comfort, but from finding peace inside. This does not mean you turn away from your family or stop loving them. No, it means you understand that your happiness and strength must come from within. Imagine a tree. It grows tall and strong because it has deep roots in the earth. The wind may blow and the rain may fall, but the tree stands firm. Why? Because it is not only supported by the sky or the sun or the rain. It is supported by its own roots. Your inner strength is like those roots. It holds you steady, no matter what storms come your way. When you rely too much on others, your roots become shallow. You grow only as far as their support allows. But when you develop your own roots, your own wisdom, your own calmness, your own understanding, you grow taller and stronger than you ever imagined. Buddhism calls this self-reliance, but it is not pride or stubbornness. It is simple wisdom. It is knowing that you can face life's difficulties because you have trained your mind and heart to be peaceful, even in hard times. To build this self-reliance, you must begin with awareness. Notice how often you depend on others to feel safe or happy. Notice when you expect your family to solve your problems, or give you comfort. See this clearly without judgment. Awareness is the first step. Then, with gentle patience, start to turn your attention inward. What brings you peace? What quiet place lies inside your mind? In meditation, you learn to watch your thoughts and feelings without chasing them. You learn to be still, even when the world is noisy. This stillness is your inner refuge. When you visit this refuge often, you begin to trust it. You realize, here's a place I can always come back to. Here is a strength that no one can take away. This trust grows slowly but steadily, like water feeding the roots of a tree. But remember, self-reliance does not mean loneliness. Buddhism teaches compassion and connection as much as independence. You still love your family. You still share your life with them. But now, you're like a river that flows beside other rivers, not a river that depends on another river to keep flowing. When you love without attachment, your love is free. It is like the sun shining on all things without needing anything in return. You give your love, and it nourishes both you and those you love. Now, think of your family again. They're also like trees with their own roots. They too must grow strong inside themselves. When each person takes responsibility for their own peace and strength, the whole family becomes more stable. The branches can reach out wide because the roots are deep. Many people fear being independent because they feel alone. They think, if I don't depend on others, who will care for me? But true care begins with caring for yourself. When you are strong inside, you can help others better. You can support them without losing your own balance. In the Buddhist way, dependence on others is like building your house on sand. It may stand for a while, but one day the sand will shift. Self-reliance is like building your house on rock. It may take more effort, but it will last through storms. There's no shame in needing help sometimes. Even the Buddha himself accepted kindness from others. But the difference is that he never clung to it. He knew that lasting peace comes from within. So, practice small steps every day. When you feel the urge to lean on your family for comfort, pause. Take a deep breath. Remind yourself, I have a place of calm inside. I can rest here. This simple act, repeated often, changes your mind and heart. Be patient. Growing deep roots takes time. But with each day, your strength grows. You will find that you do not fear change as much. You will feel lighter, freer, and more alive. This is the middle path, the balance between dependence and isolation, between love and freedom. The path the Buddha showed us. Hold this truth gently. Your family is a precious gift, but your own peace is your most precious treasure. When you carry it with you, you will never be lost. Now go softly. Watch your mind. Care for your roots. The journey to true freedom begins here, inside you. Imagine a single leaf falling gently from a tree. You watch it as it twirls in the air, drifting slowly to the ground. It does not stay on the tree forever. One day, the tree will lose all its leaves. The seasons change, and nothing stays the same. This is impermanence, the very heart of life. In this world, everything we see, feel, and hold dear is changing. Our bodies, our families, our homes, even our thoughts, they do not remain as they are. They move, they shift, they fade. The moment we try to hold tightly to something, it slips away like the falling leaf. Many people live their lives as if everything will stay the same, forever safe, forever secure. But this is an illusion. To depend too much on what is always changing is to build a house on sand. When the waves come, it falls down. Impermanence teaches us a very important lesson. It invites us to see life clearly, without hiding behind wishful thinking. When we understand that nothing lasts forever, we stop fearing loss. We stop clinging with painful desperation. We begin to appreciate the present moment fully, because this moment is all we truly have. Think about your family. They are precious, but they are not permanent. They grow older. Their health may change. Their paths may separate from yours. If you depend only on them for your happiness or security, what will happen when change comes? Will you fall into sadness or anger? Or will you be ready to face life with calm and strength? In Zen, we learn that acceptance of impermanence is not giving up. It is freedom. When we accept change, we free ourselves from the chains of fear and expectation. We become like the river, flowing with the current instead of fighting against it. Imagine the river's water. It is never the same from one moment to the next. Yet the river moves gracefully, without worry. It embraces change because it knows change is the nature of life. This is how we must live, welcoming the unknown, not fearing the end of things, but knowing each ending is a new beginning. Many people resist this idea. They want life to be steady and predictable. They want their loved ones to always be healthy and near. They want their comfort and their routines to never break. But when the storm of change comes, resistance only makes suffering greater. In Buddhism, the word dukkha means suffering, but it is often caused by attachment, grasping for permanence in a world of change. When we understand impermanence deeply, we can loosen our grip on attachments. We see them as clouds passing in the sky, not solid, not forever. This understanding does not make us cold or distant from those we love. On the contrary, it deepens our love because it helps us cherish every moment. We learn to love without holding on too tightly. We learn to appreciate the beauty of each day, knowing it will never come again. Look at a candle flame. It shines bright, but can flicker and go out at any time. Yet, we enjoy its light fully while it burns. So too, should we live our lives, brightly, fully, and with gentle awareness of impermanence. When you feel sadness because a family member is aging or changing, remember this teaching. Feel the sadness, but also feel gratitude for the time you have. Allow yourself to experience all feelings without holding on to them forever. Many spiritual seekers try to escape impermanence by seeking something permanent, wealth, status, or control. But these are all like mirages. True peace comes when we see that everything changes, and we stop chasing what cannot last. This wisdom helps us build real independence. When we understand impermanence, we do not rely solely on others for our happiness or security. We learn to find peace within ourselves, no matter what life brings. Think about your own heart. It is changing every moment, just like the world around you. You can train your mind to see clearly, to accept change with courage, and to live fully in each breath. Impermanence is also a teacher of compassion. When we see that others are also changing, suffering, and facing loss, our hearts soften. We become more gentle, more patient, more kind. We stop judging or demanding and start loving just as we are. This acceptance does not mean giving up action or hope. It means acting wisely with understanding. We do what we can today, knowing tomorrow will be different. We plant seeds of kindness and care, but we do not clutch them tightly, afraid they will disappear. In this way, impermanence brings balance to our lives. It helps us walk the middle path, not clinging, not rejecting, but living with calm awareness. This balance is the root of freedom. As you reflect on your own life, ask yourself, how much am I holding on to things that will change? How much am I ready to let go? Can I learn to trust life's flow, even when it feels uncertain? The path of impermanence is not easy. It asks us to face fears, to feel losses, and to keep moving forward with open eyes. But it is the path to true peace. The Zen master does not promise that life will be without pain. Instead, he teaches that pain and joy both come and go. Neither lasts forever. By seeing this clearly, we can remain steady like a mountain even when the wind blows. So, when you feel afraid of losing family or afraid of being alone, remember the falling leaf, the flowing river, and the candle flame. These are not signs of weakness. They are signs of life's natural way. Trust in this truth. Let it guide you to build your own inner strength. This strength is not brittle or hard, but soft and flexible like bamboo bending in the wind. It will carry you through every change, every storm. This is the wisdom of impermanence, a teaching as old as the Buddha, yet as fresh as the morning breeze. Let this wisdom settle in your heart. Let it open your eyes to see life as it truly is, beautiful, and ever-changing. And in that seeing, find your freedom. Listen carefully. Many people believe that family is their strongest fortress, the place where they will always find safety and support. It is a common thought, natural and comforting. To depend on family feels like holding on to something solid when the world is uncertain. But I tell you, this feeling is often an illusion. Imagine a house built on sand. It looks strong, it feels safe, but when a storm comes, the sand shifts and the house wobbles. Family, like the sand, can change, move, or disappear. If your security depends only on them, your foundation is weak. This does not mean your family does not love you or care for you. It means that love and care, though deep and genuine, cannot protect you from all of life's challenges. They cannot carry your burdens forever, nor can they always solve your problems. Life is the path you must walk alone. In the quiet moments, when no one is watching, your true strength shows. If you rely only on your family's presence, what will happen when you must face suffering by yourself? Everyone faces this moment. It is part of the human journey. The Buddha taught that attachment brings suffering. When we cling tightly to the idea that family is our safety net, we create a chain that binds us. This chain can prevent us from growing, from learning to rely on the deepest part of ourselves, the mind that is calm, clear, and free. Think about the wind and the tree. The tree's roots go deep into the earth. When the wind blows hard, the tree may bend, but it does not fall. If the tree's roots were shallow, the wind would uproot it easily. Family can be like the wind, sometimes supportive, sometimes strong, sometimes unpredictable. But your roots must be deep inside your own heart and mind. When we expect family to always be there for support, we may not develop the roots of our own resilience. This is why it is important to see family as a gift, not a guarantee. We must cherish them, but also prepare ourselves to stand tall without them. Many people have faced the harsh truth when family could no longer provide support. Illness, death, distance, disagreements. These are realities that come to all. When those moments arrive, will you find yourself lost and scared? Or will you remember the quiet strength within you that the Buddha spoke about? The Buddha's path is a path of self-discovery. It asks us to look within, not outside, for security. Your family's love is like the sun shining on the path, warm and encouraging, but it is your own steps that carry you forward. There is no shame in asking for help. Compassion is one of the greatest gifts of life. But there is wisdom in knowing when to stand alone and when to lean on others. If your balance depends only on others, your life becomes like a fragile tower, easy to topple. To live wisely means to accept the impermanence of all things, including family. Your parents, siblings, children, friends, they all change. Some may leave, some may disappoint. This is not because they do not love you, but because life is always changing. The wise person prepares their heart and mind to be steady, like a mountain in the storm. This steadiness is not cold or distant. It is warm and compassionate, but not dependent on any one person or thing. When you develop this inner strength, you can love your family freely, without fear or neediness. You can support them, but also support yourself. You can be close without losing yourself. Family is important. It is a circle of love and connection. But if you place all your hope on this circle alone, you risk falling when the circle breaks. The Buddha invites you to build a circle within yourself, a circle of peace, wisdom, and freedom that no one can take away. This is why meditation, mindfulness, and self-awareness are so precious. They help you see clearly the nature of life, the nature of people, and the nature of your own heart. They help you find the roots that will hold you steady, no matter what happens outside. Remember, the river flows and changes, the mountains stay, but even they erode slowly over time. Everything in life moves. When you cling to something that moves, you will suffer. When you hold on to your own inner peace, you carry a treasure that can never be lost. Do not fear being alone, for solitude can be a path to your deepest self. In the quiet, you hear the true voice of your heart. That voice teaches you strength, patience, and love that does not depend on others. Your family support is a blessing, but it is not your whole life. Your whole life is the way you walk your path with courage and clarity. Many people live their whole lives afraid to stand alone. They hide behind family or friends, afraid of what life will bring. But fear is a shadow. When you turn to face it, the shadow disappears. To truly live is to be free inside, free from the need to depend on anyone for your happiness and peace. This freedom does not mean loneliness. It means peace. Peace that flows from knowing you are enough, just as you are. The Buddhist teaching is simple. Look inside for your true home. Your family can be part of that home, but you must also build your own. Only then can you face the storms of life without fear. Only then can you walk your path with a steady heart and an open mind. When you realize this, you begin to understand the meaning of true security, not the kind that comes from others, but the kind that grows from within. Do not wait for the world to be perfect. Do not wait for family to be always there. Start now to build your inner strength, step by step, breath by breath. This is the way of wisdom. This is the path of freedom. This is the teaching the Buddha shared with all who listen. When you walk this way, you will find peace no matter what happens outside. Your heart will be like a calm lake, reflecting the world, but not disturbed by its storms. This is the greatest gift you can give yourself and your family: a steady heart, a clear mind, and a free spirit. Walk gently, but walk firmly. Your life is your own, and it is precious. Listen closely, my friend. Life is a path, a long journey that each of us must walk alone. You may walk beside your family for some time, sharing steps and stories. But the path itself is yours alone. No one can walk it for you, nor carry you forever. This is the way of the world. In Buddhism, there's a teaching called karma. This word means action or cause and effect. It is not about punishment or reward from outside forces. Rather, it is the simple truth that every choice you make, every thought and deed plants a seed. And from that seed, a tree will grow. The fruit of that tree is the life you live. Imagine planting a garden. If you plant flowers, your garden will bloom with color and fragrance. But if you plant weeds, your garden will be filled with thorns and troubles. You cannot blame the garden for what grows. It grows what you have planted. Your family may help you water your garden, but they cannot plant the seeds for you. Only you have the power to choose what to plant. This means you carry a great responsibility. Your life is in your hands. Some may feel comfort in relying on their family to take care of them. But remember, no one can take the fruits of your actions for you. You must tend your own garden. When you depend too much on others, you may forget this truth. You may neglect your own power to shape your life. This is like handing over your seeds to someone else and hoping they will plant them well. But they cannot live your life for you. Karma teaches us that suffering and happiness are not random. They come from seeds we have planted in the past, and those we continue to plant now. If you want a strong, peaceful life, you must plant good seeds through kindness, effort, and wisdom. Think of a river flowing through mountains. It does not stop or wait for others to carry it. It moves forward on its own path, carving the earth gently but steadily. So must you move forward in your life. You may take help, but the journey is yours. The Buddha said, "You yourself must strive." The Buddhas only point the way. This means that while others can guide you, the work must come from within. No family, no friend can walk your path or carry your karma. Sometimes, family members may have their own struggles. They may not always be able to help you, even if they wish to. This is not a sign of weakness in them, but a reminder that life is full of change and uncertainty. If you depend solely on your family, you risk being unprepared when change comes. You risk feeling lost when the support you counted on is no longer there. This is why personal responsibility is so important. It means looking honestly at your life and the choices you make. It means accepting that you are the one who must care for your mind, your body, and your heart. It means planting good seeds today so you may enjoy good fruits tomorrow. Do not be afraid to face this responsibility. It is the path to true freedom. When you know that your life is shaped by your own hands, you become strong and fearless. You learn to respond wisely to whatever comes your way. Think also of the lotus flower. It grows from a mud, yet it rises above the water pure and beautiful. Your challenges and hardships are like the mud, but your actions, your karma, can lift you above suffering and bring peace. Remember, karma is not fate. It is not fixed or cruel. It is a living process. If you have planted poor seeds in the past, you can always plant better ones now. Every moment is a new chance to change your life. When you take personal responsibility, you do not blame others for your problems. You do not wait for someone else to fix your life. You take charge with courage and kindness. This does not mean you must be alone. It means you walk your path with awareness. You accept help when it comes, but you do not depend on it completely. You learn from your family, but you also learn from your own experience. Life will test you many times. Sometimes it will feel hard and lonely. But when you know your life is your own creation, you find peace even in difficulty. You become like a mountain, steady, unmoving in the storms. Take a moment to breathe and feel this truth. You are the gardener of your life. Your actions, your choices, your mind. These are the seeds. Plant kindness, patience, and wisdom. Water them with effort and mindfulness. Watch your garden grow strong and beautiful. Your family can walk beside you, but you must walk the path yourself. This is your journey, your karma, your life. Cherish it, respect it, take responsibility for it with a full heart. This is the way to freedom and peace. Imagine sitting quietly in a peaceful garden. The air is still. The leaves gently sway in the soft breeze. In this moment, there's nothing to do but breathe and simply be. This is the heart of mindfulness. Mindfulness means paying attention, really paying attention to what is happening right now. Not thinking about the past, not worrying about the future, just noticing the present moment with calmness and kindness. When we practice mindfulness, we train our mind to be steady, like a clear lake without ripples. When our mind is steady, we begin to see life as it truly is. We do not get lost in fears, doubts, or regrets. We see things clearly, without confusion. Many people live their lives caught in thoughts about what might happen or what has already happened. This constant thinking can make the heart tired and weak. The mind jumps from one worry to another, never finding peace. But mindfulness helps us step out of that endless noise. When you learn to be mindful, you begin to understand something very important. Your true strength is inside you. It is not outside in possessions or in what others think of you. It is deep within your own heart and mind. In Buddhism, mindfulness is not just about being calm. It is a way to build power, true power that no one can take away. This power helps you face life's difficulties without falling apart. It gives you courage when you feel afraid. It gives you peace when your world feels stormy. You might ask, how do I start this mindfulness? How do I find this inner strength? The answer is simple, but it takes practice. You begin by paying attention to your breath. Feel the air as it comes in. Feel it as it goes out. When your mind wanders, gently bring it back to your breath. This small act trains your mind. It teaches your mind to stay in the present, not to run away. Over time, this simple practice becomes like a seed growing into a strong tree. The tree is your mind. The roots are your mindfulness. When the storms of life come, stress, loss, pain, your roots hold you steady. You do not fall. When you face hard times, try to come back to your breath. Feel each breath as it passes through your body. This simple act is like a light in the darkness. It guides you back to calmness and strength. Mindfulness also helps you understand your feelings. Sometimes, emotions like anger, sadness, or fear can overwhelm us. But when you watch these feelings mindfully, without fighting them or running away, they become less powerful. Imagine a storm passing over the sky. The clouds are dark and heavy, but they do not last forever. They move on. Your feelings are like these clouds. When you watch them with mindfulness, you see they come and go. They do not define you. This understanding brings great freedom. It helps you stop being a prisoner to your emotions. You learn to accept whatever comes, knowing it will change. Mindfulness also helps us see our habits. Sometimes we act in ways that cause us suffering without even knowing it. We get angry quickly or worry too much. When we practice mindfulness, we become aware of these habits. Awareness is the first step toward change. When you notice your habits clearly, you can choose a different way. You become the master of your mind, not its servant. In this way, mindfulness creates space inside you, a space where you can respond wisely instead of reacting without thought. This space is very powerful. It allows you to make better choices. It helps you treat yourself and others with kindness. Over time, as you grow in mindfulness, your inner strength deepens. You become less afraid of loneliness or difficulty. You learn that true happiness comes not from outside, but from peace within. This peace is steady, calm, and unshakable. It is like the still water of the lake, reflecting the sky clearly, no matter what storms may come. Remember, mindfulness is not a magic fix. It is a practice, a daily path you walk. Sometimes your mind will wander. Sometimes you will forget. This is natural. Be gentle with yourself. Each moment you return to mindfulness, you build your strength a little more. Like a drop of water wearing away stone, your steady practice creates lasting change. This inner strength will help you face life without depending too much on others. It will give you the confidence to stand alone when needed and to enjoy connection without fear. Through mindfulness, you find freedom, not freedom from your family or friends, but freedom within yourself. This freedom is the true meaning of independence. It is not about being isolated. It is about being whole, complete, and strong inside, no matter what happens outside. So breathe now. Feel your breath. Notice your body. Be here. This is your beginning. With each mindful breath, you weave a thread of strength into the fabric of your life. The path of mindfulness is the path of awakening to your true self, to peace, and to freedom. Walk it gently, with patience and love. The strength you seek is already inside you. Imagine a bird sitting on a branch. The branch is strong. It gives the bird a place to rest. But if the bird never learns to fly, it will never explore the vast sky. The bird's true nature is to fly freely, to discover new horizons. Yet, if it clings too tightly to the branch, it may never know the joy of the wind beneath its wings. So too is the heart of a person who depends deeply on family. It is natural to find comfort in those we love. Family can be our shelter in storms, our warmth in cold times. But when the heart clings too tightly, it binds itself. This binding is like a cage made from love and need, but a cage nonetheless. In Buddhism, we learn that attachment is one of the roots of suffering. When we are attached, we fear losing what we hold dear. We worry when things change, when people change, when life changes. But the truth is, change is the only constant in this world. Letting go does not mean abandoning love or ignoring those we care for. It means seeing clearly the difference between love and clinging. Love is gentle and free, while clinging is tight and painful. When we cling, we try to hold the river still. But the river flows no matter what. The wise person learns to flow with it. Emotional dependence on family often grows from fear. Fear of loneliness, fear of failure, fear of being lost in the world. These fears are real, but they can be faced with courage. The courage to stand alone, not in isolation, but in freedom. To let go is to trust. To trust that life supports us, even when the familiar hands are not there. To trust that inside us is a source of peace that no one can take away. This source is our true self, our Buddha nature. When we depend too much on family, we give away our power. We wait for others to make us happy, safe, or complete. But happiness that depends on others is like a flame in the wind. It flickers and can be blown out easily. The path of letting go asks us to look inside, to ask, what do I truly need? What is inside me that can never be lost? When we discover this, we find a deep peace. We find strength that no storm can shake. This does not mean rejecting help or support from family. It means using their help wisely, like a traveler uses a staff. The staff can guide and steady, but the traveler must still walk with their own feet. Sometimes we feel guilty when we think about being independent. We may worry our family will feel abandoned or hurt. This is natural. But love that is true also means wishing for the other to be free, happy, and whole. Letting go is also about forgiving. Forgiving ourselves for needing others too much. Forgiving family for being imperfect. Forgiving life for its difficulties. Forgiveness opens the heart like a flower opening to the sun. When you let go of emotional dependence, you open a space inside where peace can grow. You learn to be with yourself, in silence and calm, without fear or sadness. You learn to listen to the quiet voice inside that says, you are enough. In this space, your love for family changes. It becomes softer, clearer, and more joyful. You love not because you need, but because you want to. You give love freely, without expectation or fear. The Buddha taught that suffering comes from desire and attachment. When we hold on too tightly to family for our happiness, we set ourselves up for pain. But when we love with open hands, we find freedom. It is not easy to let go. The mind will resist. It will say, I need them. I cannot be alone. This is natural. The mind fears the unknown. But the unknown is where growth lives. Is where life breathes. Practice patience with yourself. Each day, take small steps. Notice when you cling and gently remind yourself to breathe and let go. When fear arises, sit quietly and watch it like a cloud passing in the sky. Meditation helps. Sit in silence, feel your breath, and let thoughts come and go without grabbing them. This practice strengthens your heart and mind. It shows you that you can be calm inside, no matter what is outside. Remember, you are not alone on this path. The Buddha, the great teacher, walked it long ago. Many have followed and found peace. You too can walk it, step by step, day by day. As you let go, your life will change. You may find new strength, new friendships, new joys. You will discover that you are not just a part of your family. You are a whole person, complete and free. This freedom is not selfishness. It is the gift of living fully and deeply. When you are free, you can give love in a way that helps others grow too. So, cherish your family with love, but hold them lightly. Build your own inner home that no one can take away. This is the wisdom of letting go. The river flows, the bird flies, and you, like them, can find your own wings. Trust yourself. Trust life. Let go and be free. Come sit for a while. Be still. Let's talk gently today. There is something very important I want to share with you. It is about compassion, real, deep compassion, and how it is different from attachment. Many people get confused between the two. They feel love and think it must come with worry, control, fear, or deep dependency. But that is not true compassion. That is attachment wearing the mask of love. Let's look closely. When you care for someone, your child, your partner, your parent, and you feel joy in their joy and pain in their pain, that is natural. You are human. You have a heart. But when your peace depends completely on their actions, when your mind becomes restless if they don't do what you wish, that is attachment. It brings suffering both to you and to them. Compassion is soft, wide, and freeing. Attachment is tight, narrow, and clinging. Can you feel the difference? Attachment says, you must be mine. You must stay close. You must make me happy. Compassion says, may you be well. May you be free. May you walk your own path, even if it is far from mine. You see, attachment is filled with fear. Fear of losing someone, fear of change, fear of being alone. But true compassion has no fear. It is built on wisdom. It understands that all beings must find their own way, just as we must find ours. Imagine a bird sitting in your hand. If you squeeze it tightly, trying to keep it close, it suffers, and so do you. But if you open your hand and let the bird stay or fly as it wishes, that is love. That is freedom. That is compassion. Many people think, if I love someone, I must suffer for them. I must hold on to them. I must protect them from everything. But in doing this, they lose themselves. They stop living their own life. They become angry when things don't go their way. This is not the path of peace. In Buddhism, we are taught to love without holding, to give without expecting, to care without losing ourselves. This is possible, very possible, but it takes practice. Start with small moments. When your family member makes a decision you do not like, instead of reacting with anger or fear, take a breath. Ask yourself, am I acting from compassion or from attachment? Am I trying to support their path or control it? Sometimes, letting go is the greatest act of love. This does not mean we stop caring. No, never. It means we care more wisely. We listen deeply. We give space. We speak truth. We support, but we do not chain others to our wishes. We do not build our happiness only on them. You may ask, but Zen Master, if I let go, won't they leave me? Won't I feel empty? That is the fear of attachment speaking. The one who loves with wisdom is never truly empty, because their heart is open like the sky, wide enough for all things to come and go. You see, when you live with compassion, you become strong. You're not pulled left and right by others' choices. You are centered, peaceful, loving. You become a home that others can return to, not a prison they want to escape. Also remember, when you love someone with attachment, they feel it. They may not say it, but they feel the weight. It can push them away. But when you love them with compassion, they feel safe. They feel trusted. And that kind of love brings people closer, even if they are far. So how do we grow this kind of compassion? Begin by seeing clearly. Know that everyone has their own suffering, even those we love most, even those who seem strong. Their path is not ours to walk, but we can walk beside them for a while, and that is enough. When your child makes a mistake, remember your own. When your partner is silent, remember that silence may have a reason. When your parent forgets, remember the times you have forgotten too. We are all learning. We are all changing. We are all walking unknown roads. Let compassion rise from this understanding. Not from control, but from care. Not from fear, but from faith. Not from need, but from kindness. And don't forget to offer compassion to yourself. So many people are kind to others but cruel to themselves. They carry guilt, regret, shame. They say, I am not enough. I have failed. I should have done more. But the one who walks with true compassion speaks gently inside too. You must be your own friend. You must forgive your own heart. You must hold yourself with the same care you offer to others. That is where compassion begins. Not outside, but inside. As you walk through life, remember this simple truth. Love is not control. Love is not fear. Love is not ownership. Love is freedom. Love is presence. Love is letting others grow, even if that growth takes them far from you. Let your heart be soft but strong. Let your love be deep but open. Let your life be full, not from clinging, but from giving freely. This is the teaching. Let go, but do not turn away. Love deeply, but do not lose yourself. Support others, but do not forget your own feet. Care without tying knots. Live with an open hand. And in doing so, you will know the peace that true compassion brings. Breathe in, breathe out. You are not alone on this path. Many have walked before you. Many walk beside you now. With every gentle breath, you are already on the way. Keep going. Listen carefully. In life, many people search for happiness outside themselves. They look to others, family, friends, wealth, comfort, for peace and joy. But true happiness, true freedom, cannot be given or taken by others. It is something you build inside, like a small flame that burns steadily, no matter how the wind blows. To build this inner strength, you need wisdom, not the kind that is only found in books or taught by others, but the wisdom that comes from deep understanding of your own mind and heart. Wisdom is the light that guides you when the path is dark. It is the quiet voice that tells you to keep walking, even when the journey is hard. Self-discipline is the companion of wisdom. Without self-discipline, wisdom cannot grow. Imagine a tree with deep roots. The roots hold the tree steady during storms. Self-discipline is like those roots. It keeps you steady, balanced, and strong when life storms come. Many people think self-discipline means harsh rules or punishment, but in truth, it is gentle. It is the kindness you show yourself by choosing what is right, even when it is difficult. It is the small daily effort to live with honesty, patience, and calm. You may wonder, How can I build this wisdom and self-discipline? The answer lies in simple steps practiced every day. It starts with paying attention. Notice your thoughts, your feelings, and your actions. When you catch yourself reacting with anger or fear, do not judge yourself. Simply observe, like watching clouds move across the sky. This observation brings understanding. You begin to see patterns. What makes you unhappy? What pulls you away from peace? With this knowledge, you can choose differently. You can choose kindness instead of anger, patience instead of frustration. Another important practice is letting go. Often, we hold tightly to desires, fears, or memories. We believe these things define us or keep us safe. But holding on too tightly only causes suffering, like carrying a heavy bag that slows your steps. Wisdom teaches us to gently release what no longer serves us. Self-discipline helps you practice letting go. When a troubling thought arises, instead of feeding it, you learn to let it pass, like a leaf floating down a stream. You don't fight it, but you don't hold on either. This balance brings peace. Living with wisdom also means accepting the present moment as it is. Many suffer because they want things to be different from family, from life, from themselves. This wanting creates tension and pain. But acceptance is the key to freedom. Acceptance does not mean giving up. It means seeing clearly what is happening without adding extra suffering. When you accept the present moment, you can respond with calm and clear mind. This is the true power of self-discipline. Not to control life, but to control how you meet life's challenges. In time, this practice shapes your character. You become someone others can rely on, not because you depend on them, but because you stand firmly within yourself. You offer love and support freely, without needing it in return. This is a life built on wisdom and self-discipline. Remember, this path is not quick or easy. It is gentle and steady, like the slow growth of bamboo. Bamboo bends in the wind, but does not break. This is the strength you build when you live with wisdom. Sometimes, family may expect you to always be dependent. They may feel worried or uncomfortable when you begin to stand on your own. But living wisely means honoring your truth, even when it is hard. When you show courage to grow, others may also learn from your example. You do not walk this path alone. The Buddha and all enlightened teachers have walked before you. Their teachings are like lanterns along the way. Use them to light your path, but do not carry the lantern so tightly that you cannot see your own steps. A wise life is simple. It does not seek more possessions or praise. It seeks peace, kindness, and understanding. It builds a quiet joy that no one can take away. When you wake each morning, remind yourself, today, I will practice wisdom. Today, I will be patient. Today, I will be kind to myself and others. These small promises, made each day, shape a life that no storm can destroy. Know that self-discipline is not punishment, but freedom. It frees you from habits that cause pain. It frees you from fears that hold you back. And it frees you to live fully, deeply, and with clear purpose. In this freedom, family becomes a source of love and connection, not a chain that binds you. You give your love freely, and you receive it without fear or need. Building a life on wisdom and self-discipline is the greatest gift you can give yourself. It is the foundation for all happiness and peace. So, take your time. Be gentle with yourself. Each step forward is progress. Each moment of calm is a victory. Remember, the greatest teacher is your own experience. Trust in your ability to learn and grow. Trust that you can walk your path with courage and grace. This is the way of the wise. This is the way of peace. Listen carefully, my friend. There are many stories told by the Buddha and those who walk the path before us. These stories are like gentle rivers, flowing wisdom to nourish your heart and mind. They are not just tales, but lessons wrapped in simple words, guiding us toward the deep truth of self-reliance. Once, a young monk asked the Buddha, "Master, how can I live without fear when I cannot depend on anyone?" The Buddha smiled gently and replied, "Do you see this lotus flower? It grows from mud, yet does not cling to the dirt. It rises on its own, beautiful and free. So must you learn to live, rooted, yet unattached. The monk was puzzled. But Master, if I have no one to help me, how will I survive? The Buddha answered, survival is not only a matter of help from others. True survival is found in knowing yourself. When you know yourself, you are never truly alone. This story teaches us that dependence on others, even family, is like holding on to mud when you need to rise like the lotus. It is natural to love and cherish family, but if you lean too heavily on them, you may forget the strength you carry inside. Another time, the Buddha told a story about a man walking through a forest. He came across a huge tree, tall and strong. The man said, I wish to rest beneath this tree. It looks so safe. The tree replied, I can shelter you, yes. But one day, the wind will blow so hard I might fall. You must learn to walk on your own path, with or without me. This is the way of life. Family can shelter us, but the storms will come. And when they do, if we have not learned to stand on our own, we will be lost. The Zen path is about waking up to this truth gently, without fear or anger. There's a well-known parable of a father and his son. The son was young and afraid of everything. The father held his hand tightly, guiding every step. One day, the father let go. The boy stumbled at first, but then found his balance. He walked on his own and discovered new paths, new joys, and new strength. This story reminds us that letting go is not abandoning love. It is giving love the freedom to grow. When we depend too much on family, we may stop growing ourselves. But when love includes space for independence, everyone blossoms. Buddhism often speaks of the middle way. This is the path between clinging and complete rejection. We do not ignore our family or push them away, nor do we hold on so tightly that we lose ourselves. Instead, we walk gently between these extremes, respecting both connection and freedom. In ancient times, monks would live alone in the forest. They had no family around, no one to lean on, yet they lived with great peace and happiness. Their strength came from daily practice, mindfulness, meditation, kindness, and wisdom. They learned that when the mind is calm and steady, the heart can face anything. You too can practice this in your life. When you feel afraid to be alone or unsupported, remember the monks in the forest. They teach us that the greatest support is from within. You carry your true family inside, your values, your courage, your understanding. Another teaching tells of a woman who lost her family in a storm. She was left with nothing but her own hands and heart. At first, she was broken and scared, but she began to help others, sharing what little she had. Through this, she found strength she never knew she had. Her heart grew wide, and her life became full. This shows us that even when family is gone or cannot help us, life offers new ways to find connection and strength. Helping others, being kind, and living with open eyes, this is the path to freedom. Many people fear loneliness, but Buddhism reminds us that loneliness is different from being alone. Being alone can be a time to meet yourself deeply, to hear the quiet voice of wisdom inside. Loneliness is the suffering we create when we feel disconnected. To escape loneliness, we must first learn to be our own friend. The Buddha said, "Be a lamp unto yourself." This means do not rely solely on others to light your way. Find your own inner light. It will never leave you, even in the darkest night. In the story of the blind man and the elephant, each man touched a different part and thought he knew the whole. But only by stepping back and seeing the whole elephant did they understand the truth. Similarly, when we depend only on family, we see part of life. When we learn self-reliance, we see the whole. Life's path is long and winding. Sometimes family is near, sometimes far. Sometimes they help, sometimes they cannot. The wise person prepares for all seasons. They build their house inside, with bricks of courage, walls of wisdom, and a roof of peace. When troubles come, they do not panic or despair. They breathe deeply and stand firm. This is not cold or distant. It is warm and strong. It is love that can face change without breaking. Remember the story of the bamboo. It bends in the wind, but does not break. It stands tall again when the storm passes. Like bamboo, learn to be flexible, strong, and resilient. Do not hold too tightly to anyone or anything. This is the wisdom of freedom. When you look at your family, love them deeply but gently. Do not ask them to carry your burdens alone. Instead, share your love and learn to carry your own. This makes the love between you grow stronger, more real. In every breath, there's a chance to practice this freedom. When you wake up, feel your own strength. When you walk, know your own steps. When you sit quietly, hear the voice of your heart. It will tell you what to do. The Zen master once said, "If you want to find peace, stop running after other shadows. Look inside. There you will find a home that no one could take away." You have the power to build this home. It is not made of wood or stone, but of patience, courage, and wisdom. When your mind is steady, you do not fear being alone. You do not feel lost. Even when family changes or fades, you remain whole. You remain free. So, take these stories as gentle reminders. Walk your path with open eyes and a strong heart. Practice kindness, practice letting go, practice standing tall by yourself. The path of self-reliance is not easy. It asks us to be brave and honest. But it is the path to true freedom. It is the way to live without fear, without suffering caused by clinging. The Buddha's light shines on this path, showing us the way. Step by step, breath by breath, walk forward. Trust yourself, for you carry the deepest wisdom inside. My dear friends, you have come to the final step of our journey together, a moment of quiet reflection and deep understanding. Life, like a river, flows endlessly, carrying us forward. We have spoken much about the ways we depend on others, especially family, and how this can both nourish and limit us. Now, it is time to embrace a freedom that comes not from outside, but from within. To truly live free is to understand that we are not alone, yet we do not need to cling. In Buddhism, we learn the art of letting go, not to lose what we love, but to hold it lightly like a flower in the palm of your hand. When you hold too tightly, the flower wilts. When you hold gently, it can bloom fully and bring joy. This freedom, my friends, is not a gift given by others. It is a treasure you uncover inside yourself, patiently and kindly. It comes when you learn to look deeply at your own heart, to see your fears, your hopes, your attachments, and to accept them all without judgment. Many people live their whole lives seeking security in others. They build their happiness on a fragile foundation, like sandcastles at the edge of the sea. The waves of change come, and the castles fall. But when your happiness and peace come from your own steady heart, no wave can wash it away. Do not misunderstand. Love and family are precious. They're like the roots of a great tree. But the tree must grow tall, reaching the sky with its own branches and leaves. You must grow in your own strength, not only leaning on those roots. This is the balance we seek. In the teachings of the Buddha, we find many stories of people who faced great difficulties alone and yet discovered an inner light that never faded. This light is your true nature, your wisdom and compassion that exist beyond any condition or relationship. Sometimes, we feel afraid to be alone because we confuse loneliness with solitude. Loneliness is a shadow born of fear. Solitude is a quiet space where you meet yourself, where your spirit can breathe and become whole. When you cultivate solitude, you learn to befriend yourself. You become your own closest companion. You can face storms without falling apart because you carry peace within. The world outside is always changing. People change, situations change, the seasons change. But when you have cultivated this inner peace, you can walk through all changes with a calm heart and steady mind. This is not easy. It takes courage. It takes patience. It takes practice. But every step you take towards your own independence is a step toward freedom. Freedom from fear, from suffering, from endless worry about what others think or do. Remember, Buddha taught the middle way. It is not about rejecting family or love. It is about balance, loving deeply, but not losing yourself, caring for others, but not depending on them for your happiness or safety. This freedom also opens your heart wider. When you are free inside, your compassion is true and boundless. You can help others without expecting anything in return. You become a source of calm and strength for those around you. You begin to understand that everyone carries their own struggles and burdens. No one can carry yours for you, but you can carry your own, and in doing so, you become stronger and wiser. As a Zen master, I remind you, the journey does not end here. This is only a new beginning. Every day is a chance to practice this wisdom, to wake up a little more, to live a little freer. When difficulties come, and they will, remember the river. It flows around obstacles without stopping. You too can flow through life's challenges with grace. Do not fear being alone. Fear losing yourself by clinging. Walk your own path gently and with courage. Let your heart be your guide. You have the strength inside you. Trust it, nurture it, and share your light with the world, not by depending on others, but by being the light yourself. Now, as we close this chapter, I invite you to carry this teaching with kindness. Practice it quietly in your daily life. Speak to yourself with compassion. Stand tall in your own truth. And remember, true freedom is not found by running away from the world, but by living fully in it, with a heart free and open. Thank you for walking this path with me. May your journey be peaceful. May your wisdom grow. And may you find joy in being truly free. If you have found peace here, please do like, comment, share, and subscribe to Wisdom Woven. Your support helps keep this light alive. Comment below your thoughts, your struggles, and your hopes. Let us build a community of strength and freedom together. Namo Buddha. May the energy of the Buddha guide and protect you always. Come, sit with me one more time. Let the noise settle. Let the thoughts drop like leaves from an old tree. Let the breath return to its rhythm, slow and steady like waves kissing the shore. We have traveled far together, through teachings, reflections, questions, and truths. But now we are no longer walking toward something. We are simply sitting where we are. And sometimes that is the most powerful thing you can do in life, to simply sit and see clearly. You came here with a question in your heart, even if you did not speak it. Maybe it was, why does my heart feel heavy? Maybe it was, why do I feel lost when my family is not there? Or maybe, can I really be enough just as I am? Let me tell you, yes you can. But not because someone said so, not even because I say so. You can because you are. You were born with a seed of wisdom inside you. It may have been buried under years of fear, worry, dependence, or self-doubt, but has never left you. The Buddha said, within this body, 6 feet long, lies the world of suffering, and also the path to its end. You see, the path is not in the stars, is not in the words of others. It is not even in temples or sacred texts. It is in your own heart. That is where freedom lives. That is where your real journey begins. Many people confuse comfort with peace. Comfort comes from what's around you. Peace comes from what's within you. Comfort can be taken away. Peace cannot, unless you give it away yourself. Some say, but Master, is it not cold to stand alone? I say, even the tallest mountain stands alone, and yet it touches the sky. It does not cry for another mountain to lean on. It simply stands, and in that, it teaches us something powerful. To be truly free, you must be willing to walk through your fears, not to fight them, but to see them clearly. Fear loses power when you look directly at it. To be truly at peace, you must stop running from your emotions, from loneliness, from silence. In the silence, you will hear the voice that has always been speaking, the voice of truth. You may feel sorrow when people you love drift away. This is natural. Even the Buddha grieved when his loved ones passed. But he also smiled because he saw that nothing truly ends. All things change, transform, and continue in new forms. And so, we love without grasping. We care without clinging. When you depend too much on your family, you may not realize it, but you hand over your strength piece by piece. You let your happiness rise and fall based on their moods, their decisions, their presence. This is not love. This is fear in disguise. True love is free. It is not bind, it blesses. It says, I walk beside you, but I also walk on my own path. That is what makes the connection real and powerful. Let me tell you a simple story. There was a monk who lived alone on a mountain. He had no family nearby. One day, a traveler asked him, Aren't you lonely? The monk smiled and said, When I first came, I brought many voices with me. My father's fears, my mother's expectations, my own regrets. They filled the silence. But over time, I listened deeper, and then I heard the wind, the rain, the trees, and something more. I heard myself, and I was no longer alone. You see, sometimes we're not truly alone. We are just unfamiliar with our own company. If you sit quietly long enough, you will meet someone very important. Your true self, not the one shaped by others, not the one weighed down by labels and rules, but the one that has been quietly waiting to be seen. That self does not need permission to be whole. It does not need to be approved, validated, or rescued. It simply is. Your job is not to become someone else. Your job is to remove all that is not you. The masks, the fears, the voices that tell you, you are not enough on your own. In Buddhist practice, we often bow, not because we are lower than others, but to remind ourselves of humility. We bow to each moment. We bow to truth. We bow to life as it is. And so now, I bow to you, not because this is the end, but because I honor the journey you have taken to come here. It is no small thing to sit with difficult truths. It is no small thing to admit, I want to grow beyond my dependence. You may feel old. You may feel that change is for the young. But let me share a final truth with you. The moment you awaken is the moment you are born again. Whether you are 45 or 95, the light within you does not age. The body may wrinkle. The voice may tremble. But wisdom grows brighter with each moment you choose to see clearly. You are not behind in life. You are exactly where you are meant to begin. Begin now. Begin gently. Do not rush. Simply take one step toward yourself. Each day ask, what is mine to carry? And what have I been carrying for others out of fear? Then let go piece by piece. You will not lose your family by being independent. You may even love them better, without expectation, without control, without fear. You may become a mirror for them, a living example that peace does not come from others. It is born within. Be like the candle that lights other candles without losing its flame. And as you walk your path, you will discover this great truth. You are never truly alone. The entire universe walks with those who walk in truth. So now, dear one, rest, not in laziness, but in peace. Rest from chasing. Rest from pretending. Rest from waiting for others to make you whole. You are whole. You are ready. You are free. And if ever the old fears return, as they sometimes will, come back to this breath, this moment, this stillness. Here, you are always home. Thank you for sitting with me, for listening not just with your ears, but with your heart. And now, before we part, I gently remind you, please support the path of wisdom. So many have watched, but so few take a moment to truly join the circle. If you found light in these words, I ask with deep gratitude, please like this video, comment your thoughts below, and share this with someone who needs to hear it. And most importantly, subscribe to Wisdom Woven to stay connected with the teachings that bring peace, courage, and clarity. Drop your first comment with the words, Namo Buddha, a gentle vow to walk with truth, strength, and kindness. We walk together, in silence, in strength, in freedom. Until next time, breathe and be.